We here, I guess, to do a documentary about me. Really just to show people like what really goes on in my everyday life. This project specifically was like my first studio album. So it's different than any other project I put out. Every other project was like either a single or an EP or even like a mixtape, but this is like a little more personal, a little more detailed.
That's really the reason why I took the time and it's an album. You notice how I keep throwing the word album out there, you feel me? It's not a mixtape, and people ask me like before hearing it, like what's the difference between an album and a mixtape? Like why are you calling it an album? You feel me? What's the difference? Me personally, it's like you could tell what the difference is. Like if I were to say like, all right, bro, this is an album. You feel me? And you be like, why? I be like, I play it for you. I play it for you. Do you agree that it's an album? Does it sound like an album to you?
You it's cohesive, you got a storyline.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just on the basic levels. Like, you feel me? You gave me some regular answer. You know what I mean? Not a bad answer, but you feel me? You gave me like some real shit. Like, yeah.
Boom. There.
Right. You feel me? But my whole point is, it's like on every level, I just took the time to make it that. You feel me? So
There's a strong foundation in this album.
You can tell the attention to detail on it too. You definitely tell.
Like I really feel like I put about the same amount of intention in each record. But this project is just a more focused effort, I would say.
yeah, man, it's one of those things. Like all of these songs, it's not like I just like did this in like a few months span. Like this is from like years of just collecting the best songs I would make these years. Like probably like the past 3 years, you feel me? I just been collecting the best songs that to me I felt like was on another level than what I was doing. You feel me? So I didn't have a technical plan at first. I just knew like, oh, this is something. I can't drop it right now, it don't make sense. But this is something. You feel me? And then once I really focused in on that album, it became more of like a cohesive sound me and Miles locked in on, because like a lot of it goes to him too, because he's the foundation. Like a lot of these are beats I just got on the beat. You feel me? Like I was just lucky enough to get on the beat. So that's the crazy part too. Like I feel like that's what really took it there. It's just us being on the same page.
Like how back? Where you want me to start? High school. In high school, I went to Etowanda High School. A lot of people I know, who made music went to Etowanda High School. Matter of fact, I met Ryo Peters and Elza at Etowanda High School.
I've known him since 10th grade. 10th grade in high school. So pretty long time, about like 10 years. Been making music pretty much ever since then, ever since I really met him. Cause I started making music and writing music around 10th grade, and that was like a little bit before I met him. So really our genesis of our friendship has been around music.
I've known Mills since I was a sophomore in high school. So that goes, all the way back to like 2011. So it's been about 11 years, but we didn't really get close till after high school, around like 2014. But we've been in each other's lives for like back to back days. Like it was to the point where if you knew you were seeing me, you were seeing Mills, or vice versa. Like you were seeing Mills, you were seeing me. We would just always be together. So that's my brother.
Like I met them because I was a technical type of guy. Like I always was a person like who knew how to like record people, or mixtape music, like I didn't know what I was doing back then fully, but I knew the best out of anybody, you know, around. So, you know, I just kind of became like, or I kind of met a lot of people through that. Like I was always an artist, but because I knew how to do that, it drew like more artists towards me because a lot of people didn't know how to do that in high school, you know what I mean? So that's kind of how that started.
I've known Mills since middle school, but I guess on a friendship level since 2014, so about 8 years now.
And then, I don't know, from there I would just be on and off because I would always have like different interests in high school. But I would just be on and off, and then it wasn't until like I graduated high school that I really like started taking it serious. Like I went to school for audio engineering.
The music industry had some doubts. If this is really what you want to do, you know, let's do this. Let's get into the Art Institute, and he did, and he accomplished audio engineering, and that was challenging for him, but he did really good at it, and I think it really helps what he's doing today.
I did that for a few years, dropped out because I just like felt like I learned everything that I wanted to learn. So anyway, I got to a point where I felt like I didn't need to school no more, and I really started going hard on my music. And yeah, it just really went from there. I would say like I was a pretty like outgoing type of kid.
From early age. He was quite a little bit shy, a little bit reluctant. We had to pull him along. But once he found out that he had the skills, he was all in. Everything and everything. I've always done a lot of sports. When they were small, we had little basketball courts and ping pong tables and things of that nature. So that's where it mostly came from. And playing house games, cards, Monopoly, things of that nature. So he learned very quickly. To be good at something, you have to put the work in. And I'm shocked.
So I was always into different things, like always like hustling, always hustling. So I always had like get rich schemes, you know what I mean? And I always just thought outside the box. And I feel like when you think outside the box, it's kind of hard to fit in the constraints of like rules as a kid. So I feel like I just had so many different ideas, and you know, it just took me different places. Like I said, I be thinking real fast. So like me being a natural hustler, I could be making some music, but then I could be thinking about what I'm about to do to formulate the money to fund the music. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, I would, which part of my life, you know what I mean? I've done so many different things in those gaps. What's crazy is, speaking on the team, like no politics, I'm not even like, a lot of people might even look at it that way, possibly from the outside. But to be real with you, like the way that we put it together, I made sure that I'm not really just that person. To be real with you, like I feel like we all evenly contribute as far as that goes. I just bring more so like that mentality or that mindset and awareness to where it wakes everybody else's hustle up, you feel me, to be able to provide the things we need for no politics, you know? Man, like everybody else, I got 9 to 5.
Hell yeah, well, I probably only want to see this nigga with a real job. They ain't gonna know this nigga got a real 9 to 5. I ain't gonna say it though. But, bro is hustling. Shit, this nigga done owned a whole store, factory, and some more shit. Bro, he done did some crazy shit, like more beastful shit than this right here. Not like that, this ain't that, but like, I done seen him do some shit.
I got different businesses. Like I said, I'm really a hustler. I'm a person, like I have a daughter as well, so for me, I'm a provider. I have a fiance as well. So I gotta provide for my women, you know what I mean? So I do a lot. I'm not gonna lie, like I do a lot. Just like I feel like everybody should be if you're living in this world and, you know, really trying to make something of yourself. It's amazing. Like, nothing really changed, to be real honest with you. It just got more serious. Like, I would say, like, the technicalities of a relationship, like, it just got more serious. It got more heightened, which makes it more interesting, though, because it's not too serious to where it's like, oh, like, I have to move a certain way, but, like, no, I got to move a certain way. Like, you know what I mean? I got to carry myself a certain way because I represent this person as well, and it's reciprocated, you know what I mean? It definitely changed my music a lot. Like, I feel like for the most part, I've always talked about whatever's going on in my life, you know? And that aspect of my life definitely translates into my newer music because it's what's going on in my life. You know what I mean? So it definitely bleeds through my music, and I feel like it adds a better element because, like, women are your biggest fans. You know, they're going to spend the most money on you. So I feel like the more music I can make that caters towards a woman, the better. I mean, fortunately, I just study a lot of great people. I've been in a lot of great rooms. And I can't remember, to be honest, specifically where I heard that. But that's something that stuck with me that I heard as I was coming up. You know what I mean? And it just stuck with me. I was like, dang, because me personally, I didn't used to think about it like that because I didn't really think marketing. I just used to be, I was such a artist coming up. Like, all I was thinking about was making music. So for me, it was more of like a diary than art or merchandise. But once I heard that, it changed my whole perspective on like marketing music. Because I was like, dang, that's crazy. Like, no matter what type of music I make, I always have to think about it like, would a female listen to this? Or would somebody spend their money on this? Like, that just stuck with me. I'm a person, if you know me, I don't even like, if we met just regular, you wouldn't even know I make music. I wouldn't even tell you that. So, like, I feel like anybody that even is in my circle that knows I make music was a fan. You know, if they weren't already a fan before they met me, they became a fan. You know, and I say that humbly because that's what everyone's told me, you know. Yeah. Because people can tell me a different person every time, and I can agree because I'm a real music head. So I feel like I was influenced by a lot of people.
His influences, like I said, jazz, pop, not as much rap, but enough to where, just like anything else, if you like it, you're going to do it a lot. Now, the jazz, I might play very different jazz, or pop, I might play different, you know, but rap, if I like Tupac or if I like Biggie, they're going to be played exclusively more than the other ones who don't not meet the standard.
But the ones I hear the most are probably like, I hear like Nipsey, Meek Mill, and like Dom Kennedy. Those are like the three most I hear like all the time.
Stylistically, the one person that I can definitely compare him to is Nipsey, because they're very like straight cut. Like, they're artistic as far as, you know, how they went about their art, but as far as how they presented themselves, they were very cut and dry. You know, very, very business minded, very execution minded. Yeah, Nipsey. And I'm not the only one that really says this. It's like he has that kind of, you know, that kind of presence. Where it's just like, if you know, like, to know him is to love him. So like, know him is like, all right, like I'm in, like, I'm sold. But like, just like Nipsey, from afar, you can be like, I don't get it. Like, dude with tattoos, how is he like anybody else? Until you have a conversation with him and then hear exactly what he's talking about, it's like, oh, okay. Like, there's something here.
really right now is just finish the music. Once I finish the music, like, it's just go time. I just feel like we've been planning this moment for a minute. You know what I mean? And right now, I just want to finish the music so I can have something to talk about. Because to me, like I tell my guys all the time, there's nothing to talk about until the music is finished, because we can talk about it all day, but you're gonna be like, let me hear something then. Let me, you know, what are we talking about? What are we even betting on? You know? No, politics is a label, a collective, built up of 4 pillars: myself, Ryo Peters, Elza, and Miles Martin.
I was already looking to create a label, but at the same time, Miles and Mills were already looking to create a label at the same time. So I expressed what I was doing to Mills, and we're like, oh snap, like we're on the same type of time, even though we hadn't told anybody about it, you know? So they had a meeting, Miles and Mills had a meeting with me, talking to me. I said, okay, yeah, like, I'm willing to put aside my idea for this bigger purpose, you know? Then we brought Ryo along, and he had been talking to Mills about this idea already, and he had like came up with the name. And Ryo coined us No Politics, and you know, we were fighting hard because that name, like, a name is powerful. A name carries weight. A name is how you'll be remembered for the rest of your life. It's funny, I was just watching House of Dragons, and they said, like, history doesn't remember blood, history doesn't remember all these lists of things, but history remembers names. And I feel like that No Politics name just is heavy when you say it, when you think about it, what it means. And it's just been a beautiful, beautiful blessing to see all of this come to fruition, because we all planned this.
Who you want me to start with? Ryo, he has a very, like, unique sound. But I feel like he's one of those people, he can do almost anything with his voice. Like, I told him that when I first started working with him, like, one thing I love about making music with him is, like, he really knows how to use his voice. Like, and everybody doesn't know how to use their voice because it's difficult. Everybody's not an artist. You know, like, as a rapper, it's even hard to master your voice. That's, like, one of the biggest things. So when I notice he knows how to do multiple things, like he can rap, harmonize, sing. He knows how to use his voice, like, to the full extent. So to me, that's like his greatest asset. He's lyrical. Like, when I say lyrical, not like boring lyrical, because you know it can get boring, but he knows how to use his words in every song that he chooses. You know, and he can go so many different ways with it on the same song. So for me, he's just like, man, one of those guys. I tell him all the time, he's just one of those guys.
Now he's one of the few people that I collaborate with that I know he knows what he's doing. And when I perform with bro, like I said, he's much of a visionary, but and when his aura is like a very like grounding. So when you see him on stage or when he performs, it's like a weight to him being on stage, and when he walks or like wherever he's at, it's like it's a presence. You know, not like I'm here, but it's just like I'm here. That makes sense. Yeah, it's like I'm much more energetic, or he's more like conversational, which is, you know, how he makes music, how he delivers is much more a conversation. He's much more talking to whoever is listening, opposed to me. You know, it's really more like a performance aspect to it.
But outside of music, he's been finding himself throughout these years. I've seen it. He's trying to learn. I guess this has to do with music, but it's outside of him rapping. Like he's trying to learn how to mix and master, which he's been getting a lot better at. Like since he started, you know what I mean. He's trying to get into directing. He directed a couple of my videos, a couple of No Politic videos. That's a fun fact if people ain't looking at credits and stuff. But yeah, and producing. But he's been doing that. Like that's not even new. So who's next? Elza? Man, with the music, like I don't know. Like for me, I used to tell him all the time. He remind me of like Drake. Like his lane, like his whole vibe, his whole aesthetic is like more like a Drake to me. But he's very like, he also very like a very honest artist. You feel me? Like he talks about himself very vulnerable. You know, like you could hear, if you really listen to the things he says, like a lot of things he says, you could tell like, dang, he's telling himself these things sometimes for the first time. So I think that's real dope about him. Like, outside of music though, like, he's a mogul. Like, he's killing it. Right now, he's an author. He has a poetry book out right now. I don't know, he got merch. And he's just like a dot connector. He's a genuine people person. I see like he's a person that's real in touch with the community. He has a natural like gift of just connecting with people, like on a real deep level, you know what I mean? So I would say like humanitarian almost, like, okay? That's the best word for it, humanitarian. Man, Miles, the guy that a lot of people don't really know about.
I guess so. I mean, that's just being a producer in general. You're always gonna be behind the camera, but yeah, you would say that for sure. Man in the shadows. I'm not trying to be in front of the camera a lot. I just like making the music, and you let Mills be in front of the camera and do all that. I'm cool being like just low key.
Miles Martin, man, I would say he's probably the most important piece to No Politics. Without him, there would be no Politics. People don't even know that. He's the person who even initiated the idea of something. You know what I mean? But musically, he's like, I can't even compare him. He's like untouchable to me.
I started making beats when I was in 8th grade. I always liked music. I always liked the music side of music. So like the production of beats. So I started making beats in 8th grade on a keyboard, and then I started making beats in 9th grade on my dad's computer, and eventually I got my own computer. Just started networking. I met Mills, or I started working with Mills like right after high school, and a bunch of other artists. I just started networking my way like through, I guess, the music business, and yeah, and that's pretty much how it started.
Really, like, I've gotten so many beats from him in the years I've known him, like, and it's just always a mind-blowing moment. It's never a moment like, oh, this one's cool, this one's cool. Like, I'm never getting a batch of beats from him like, oh, this is cool. It's more so like, dang, like, I'm not Beyonce, so this beat, I can't really do this. Oh man, like, I'm not Travis Scott, I can't do this one, but it's just fire. Like, I might as well throw something on and send it to Travis, huh? Like, that's really more so the feeling it be when I get beats from him. He's just a superstar when it comes to the music, but you will never know. The way he carries himself, his presence when he walks in the room, you'll never know until he press play. You know what I mean? Outside of the music, he's another hustler. He's a hustler, man. Like, he's a hustler. Whenever we need something, whenever it's time to get something done, he gets it done. he might not even be there sometimes. Like, oh, let's just get it done. I'm gonna send my fee. Let's get it done, whatever. What's the fee? Oh, okay, I'm gonna send it. Boom. He's just a hustler. And he has that natural, like, he's a quiet person. He's one of those people, if you ever heard of, like, he's a quiet person until it's time to say something. He's only speaking when it matters. And I really like that. I feel like that's a very powerful trait to have, and it's a rare trait. I don't see a lot of people like that. Most people overtalk. And he's one of those people, like, if he says something, like, it's probably best if you listen to what he's saying.
Yeah, honestly, I enjoy, like, seeing how people react to my music, because it, like, kind of, it just gives me, like, a better understanding of what people like, outside of just what I like.
But yeah, right now we're focused on just strengthening the pillars.
How much of an art it is to work with people. Like, it's never the same from day to day. Like, not even with the same people. Yeah, but if you guys have a similar goal and a similar vision, that's what cuts a lot of noise out, and that's why Mills is such an important pillar in politics and just in the IE and soon the world at large as far as music goes, because as far as visionaries, as far as someone that has a direction, I haven't known, like, of course you see people on YouTube or however you link up with them, but I haven't known anyone personally that has much of a vision as Mills. And he's really the glue of a lot of things. It's really, sometimes I'm really in awe of bro, in that sense. Like, you know, I learned a lot from bro.
And a lot of it's walking by faith and not by sight, you know. It's funny because, you know, starting up your own business is costly. It has its own expenses. You're putting a lot of your money up front, right? And on paper, it never makes sense. But that's why I said, like, you got to have a higher purpose. And when Mills, Miles, and Rael and myself came together and put together this label, this company, this brand, we understood we were doing something much bigger than any of us individually, and that we were all in it for the same reason, and that's to inspire, change, and save lives through creative art.
Just helping more people, first building the formula, and then being able to package it and show it to other people like ourselves, you know, and really help people get their businesses off the ground. And eventually housing a bunch of creatives.
I brought y'all here for the idea that whatever idea that you have in your mind right now. So if you have an idea and you like, nah, I might not say that shit right now. That shit sound lame. Like, you shouldn't even be here. You feel me? I keep it real with y'all.
Also want to be part styling you as well.
Yeah, I fuck with that, bro. I fuck with how you styled me last time. Because you styled me on the pop-out video.
Yeah.
I like that. I liked how you came. Because, really, bro, I'm going to keep it real. Like, I'm a nigga, like, I like putting people in situations to see how they're going to respond. And I noticed that was something, like, you were really good at, so I wanted to see what you were going to do in that situation, and you killed it, bro. I feel like you killed it. So, yeah, hell yeah, I want you to style me, bro. We can do that.
They're everything. To me, that's like, they're the core of what I do. I was thinking about it today. Shout out Harris 4K. She takes like all of my pictures. You know, like, I get pictures from other people, but she takes all the pictures that I post on my Instagram. So she hit me earlier today talking about, the file sent. And I had to think about it, like, from what did we do? I don't even remember what it was we did, and I checked it, and I was like, oh dang, like it's crazy. Like I haven't posted. I was just thinking about my next post. Like I didn't have nothing to post. And now she's sending me this. I forgot I even shot this. Like those type of moments come in so clutch. And not to say that's just one moment. You know what I mean? Ultimately, when you see me, if you're in the world and you see me, it's because of all of these people you just named. All of the content creation people, I wouldn't even be accessible to the world without them. So they just everything. Nah, most definitely. It's not even one person. That's why I say all of these people, yourself included. Like everybody that comes together. Like I was saying this in an interview the other day. Like everybody that be around me, we don't even be. I could think about 10 years ago, 5 years ago, people around me was my homies. Like everybody around me still my homies, but the difference is everybody's productive. Like I don't be in the room with 10 of my homies and we all 10 just chilling no more. Like I don't even be hanging out with people. Everybody I'm spending my time with, we getting money. Like we on paid time. Every time. And we be having good times. Like we don't be thinking about it like that, but when I say that out loud, it makes you think about it. Like we're always on paid time. This is serious. Like it's so natural. We just know how to make it a good time when we're doing it. I just want to say, like, really you can do anything that you want. Like, I feel like I started wherever you feel like you at in life, I feel like I started right there, if not worse. So I feel like if you watching this video, you can do exactly what I did, if not better. And I'll meet you at the top.
Just get ready. Get ready, you guys. It's gonna be a fun ride. It really is. I'm excited. I'm interested, intrigued, nervous, all the above. You know what I mean? It's gonna be interesting how people react to this one, for sure.
Mills, you're my brother. I love you for life. Thank you for continuing to inspire and help me grow as an individual, as a man. And the people, you have a very, very special project awaiting you. And when this releases, I promise, just like my life and Mills's life, your whole life will change as well. So thank you for everything, Mills. You are a crux and a corner and a big pillar in the cornerstone of my life. And I love you forever, man.
Well, I would like to say that I am extremely proud of my son, both of them. But I am really proud of Jalen and what he's trying to do. And what he is doing. He's not trying, he is doing. And basically, as long as people enjoy his music, it's going to be fine with me, whether he becomes famous or not, or whether he becomes rich or not. The fact that he's doing what he likes to do and is able to bring joy to other people through his music. So to me, you can't really ask much more from that. If he's happy, of course I'm happy. And if he's able to make a living at it, that's even better than that. So I'm very proud of him. And like I said, there's a lot of parents out there. If your son or daughter or child has any artistic things that you could see early on, encourage it, leave the door open, and give them a chance. If you've done the right things, they'll be the right people.
I just want to say, especially to my son, that I am his number one fan. Nobody's going to love you more than I do. And I want everybody to appreciate his music and listen to his music and enjoy it more than I do, because it's good. He's good. And he deserves everybody that likes music he deserved them to listen to it, listen to his music, because he's good.
I really just hope it inspires people to take the same steps and seriousness that we took. And I just really just want to motivate people to show them like there's multiple ways to really do what you want to do. I feel like we're in a generation right now to where a lot of music sounds the same depending on the coast that you're in. Like, and yeah, every here and there you have these standout people, but they're really not that far off. You know what I mean? So I just feel like originality is a big thing that I want to promote in this project. Like, it's going to sound familiar, but it's going to sound like, dang, I can't play this and match it with anybody else. I can't be like, oh, this kind of sound like this dude album, or this song right here, I can match it with this guy's song. Like, yeah, nah, it's going to be impossible. And yeah, just inspiring people to just think outside the box and challenge themselves and talk about something. Like, you know, talk about something that gets people thinking instead of just talking about something that's making me feel good. Am I prepared for this moment? I would say so. I mean, I don't feel like you're ever really ready for anything, you feel me? I feel like you're just gonna be as ready as you can be.
Like when you hear his music, you feel like you're there, you feel like you're a part of it. So I feel like that makes him very familiar to a lot of people, even if they don't necessarily understand or really know that what he speaks about is his life.
I think no politics is the best idea.
Now that shit trash. No, I'm kidding.
It's a great idea.
These is people that, you know, we're gonna build, we're gonna have a family, like the money gonna come. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to leave something here, we're trying to build something. So the blow up that's inevitable. We already big in our eyes, like, you know what I'm saying? The rest of the world just gotta catch on. Like, we already big.
It's one of those things, like, it is what it is. Like, not to be cliche, but I'm a person, like, that's probably the hardest thing for me to come up with, is like a name of an album or a project or a song. Unless I, you know, usually tie in like a main lyric that stands out in a song or something, that's more easier. But like a project is more hard if you're not focused. Like for example, nigga, like if I knew I was gonna make a bunch of trap songs, I'm probably named the album Trap Shit. You feel me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's easier to do that, but the way I came at this project and the way I come out all my projects really is very organic. So it's like I came up with the name of this at the end of this process, and that's how I felt.